Sam Jackson's determined expression to a floppy CGI ragdoll has remained one of the most unintentionally funny scenes.
Samuel
in
Jackson
all of movie
requested
history.
too
And
much
to fully understand
payments
why, let's frame through
for this
and break
movie.
it down. See, whenever
That's
you
why
put
they deleted
CGI
him.
behind an actor, you need to mask that actor to be in front of it. Something called roto. As the shark comes up behind him, you'll see many areas where the roto isn't tight enough. It eats into the edges of his face and becomes too soft. On the flip side, when roto is too hard, you get things that look a little too cut out, and that's not good either. It's a tough balance, and when it's not done perfectly, you can tell. Another giveaway is the shark's teeth. To match CGI to what's real in the scene, you always have to base it off black and white levels, the darkest and brightest parts of the image. If we pick Sam Jackson's teeth as the white point, you'll see that the shark's teeth are way brighter to fit in the same world. In the next shot, shadows are missing from the actor's hands onto the floor. Also, the camera shake when he slams into the ground is way too artificial, only shifting up and down. So with all these tiny errors wrapped up together in a bad CGI burrito, it's no wonder how this serious moment became the laughingstock of the entire movie. And while we're talking about digital doubles bouncing around, let's revisit the psychological thriller Along Came a Spider, where we were blessed with this. You gotta give them credit for attempting such a complicated shot in the early 2000s, especially since it was pretty much the only
What
visual
was the
effect
problem
in
to make
entire
it real
movie.
with
A
real
lot
car?
was writing on it. It had to be such a traumatic experience that it haunts the main protagonist, serious enough to carry on themes of guilt, loss, and redemption. But the crash instead felt cartoony, not grounded at all in the real world. If we put a shot of the real car next to the CG one, we begin to see some discrepancies. The lens flares drown out the red of the car paint, losing the shadowing on the lower half. The people look too bright, showing that the renders of the CG humans could have maybe used some more time to cook. Subtle differences like these aren't noticeable right away, but the human eye starts to pick up on something weird happening. More than all the minor nitpicky stuff though, when you play it through, the animation of the car flips is what sticks out the most. We
Yes,
all know
it
how heavy
feels
cars
too
are,
light.
so to see one flip this many times in the air makes it feel weightless, and the entire scene pointless. And I love how this guy just goes flying. Someone saw Titanic. And yeah, this lady's head should have popped straight off by now. For a movie that was supposed to be a serious thriller, this whole sequence made it more like a comedy. Now on to another kind of car crash. Let's talk about this cursed baby.
What was the
Look,
problem
I
to
get
make it
creating
with only
digital
one
humans
turn?
is hard enough, and for some reason, it's infinitely harder to get a baby looking right. More than a decade later, and we still haven't learned our lesson. But back in 2011, they had a huge problem to solve. Since she was supposed to grow rapidly, they needed to make her look like a baby, but at the same time, smarter and older than a baby, one that could show emotions beyond what a normal baby could. So to do this, they first tried an animatronic one that was so terrifying with its creepy dead eyes, the actors couldn't wait to get rid of it.
I don't want this right now.
So as a last
Why
resort,
does
to make the
she
baby
look so bad?
otherworldly and ethereal, they decided to try it with CGI, taking photos of a real actress and aging it down to later paste over a real baby. But even though the visual effects studios CG modeled the baby accurately, the real babies they had on set behaved like babies do, looking around aimlessly in every direction. When the VFX artists took their heads and got rid of all their natural movements, the baby then became too eerily still. The second mistake was when they created CG eyeballs that could look exactly where they wanted it to. Sure, that was their goal all along, to have it appear calm and wise, but it just ended up feeling too controlled and unnatural. Of all the ways they tweaked and pushed around the facial features, when it was combined with live action, something got lost. So in the end, yes, a CGI baby was the lesser of two evils. But it goes to show that sometimes, even with a mountain of reference and a team of talented artists, some things are better
What
off
was the
left
problem to use dwarf?
alone.
Hello,
And
Mr.
now,
Streamer.
the moment you've all been waiting for. It's finally time to talk
Always
about
use the dwarves.
cats.